Hello and welcome to 4 Models Kit Review Time. Today we've got something that we've been waiting for since 1966. Yes, Airfix released the original Scout back in 1966. Can you believe that? And we haven't really seen another one since. We've seen a couple of little things around, but nothing to get excited about. And finally, we've actually got a nice bang up to date new Scout. So obviously the Scout and the Wasp, they're very similar. I'm not going to say they are similar because there is obviously a lot of differences, clearly. But from a kit point of view, I thought we'd just have a look at the Scout. But the Wasp is obviously going to be pretty much on a par with this one as well. So LF models. Took up the mantle for this one. Looks very nice box art on there, as you can see. A little bit of detail with a pair of them flying together there. So if you don't know the Scout was a classic British light helicopter. Obviously the Navy had a version as well, which used to carry torpedoes, anti-submarine warfare, things like that. Did see operational service around the world and very much loved, shall we say. Still flying today with various flights, historic flights, things like that. So yes, very nice to see them still going after all these years. So as you can see, nice box art. PE7207 is your kit number for this particular one. You got some very nice options down in there as well for your sort of markings if you wanted to do those ones. So again, well, these are all the ones in British service. Again, particularly nice. Going to be a nightmare to mask it in this scale, but the Raspberry Ripple one stands out very nicely. All right, so just have a quick run round on the box, as you can see. So in the box, we are greeted by, set this up. There we go. Beautifully packaged. So we've got a zip bag with the clear parts in there, just like that, and some of the decals. And again, they look very nice. We've got another zip bag with 2 sprues in there. Or was that 3 sprues? Sorry, 3 sprues in there with the parts in there, just like that. We've got a little instruction booklet. And again, because obviously we've got the Scout, there is differences, clearly the tail, as you can see. So again, a lot of these parts obviously aren't used. Vice versa. I'm not saying you can go off and do obviously the Wasp out of this kit, because clearly you can't, but obviously you're going to see there will be a lot of crossover with them, as you might imagine. All right, so beautifully done instructions. So to start off with, obviously you're working at the front end. We've got the seats going down in there. It's got a molded in collective. All right, then we've got the sort of back box down the back here, rear bulkhead, center console, things like that with the seats, and then obviously closing that up. You've got the anti-torque pedals down in there, cyclic going fitted into there, a couple of everything. So really nice detailed cabin, which is nice to see as well. And then on the other side, as you might imagine, the Wasp is quite a glassy aircraft. I take it you can do it with doors off if you just wanted to have no doors on there at all. And obviously we've got different sites of glass as well with the bulged outer parts as well. So again, depending on which one you're doing right the way through, so you're going to be getting the glass work into it. And then over on here, we've got the tail booms being fitted down into there, that sort of wall, if you like, or the bed for the engines to be fitted down onto that. And then down in here, as you can see the reduction gear, I think that is, down in there from the engines going into the rotor mast, and all the parts being fitted in there just like that. Then we've got the engine. So again, the engines are fully exposed on this one. So we can see those down in here as well. So we've got the engines being fitted down in here. We've actually got the shaft going down to the tail rotor being fitted in. Got the exhausts being fitted down into there, just like that. And then obviously we've got that single engine with it being both with the exhaust out of both sides, which is a nice touch. And then down underneath here, we've obviously got the skids being fitted onto this, skids going on there, a little bit of suspension on there, things like that being fitted in. We have got the stretchers as well, so depending on which format you want to be this one carrying, you have got the stretchers can be fitted onto there as well with the litters, or you can have it with the gear, so it's actually got the wheels on for a little bit of ground handling as well. So if you wanted to do it with that, you could do. So again, some nice little options in this kit. Working our way back down to the tail area, again, you've got obviously the sort of little skid on the back, the various tail plates down in there, tail rotor being fitted, the rotor head, but again, it looks simple, but really it's 72nd scale right the way through. And then depending, you can have the actual, I think it's a wire guided missiles, like a tow system, all right, down into this one as well. So we've got a couple of aerials being fitted down in there, and if you wanted to, you could have these little stub pylons on the side fitted with the actual missiles on there as well. All right, so again, I think these are an aftermarket fit. If you wanted to fit those on, I don't think they come with the kit, but they are available, and you've got the details for it down in there. Your marking options, we say a great little marking options. So you've got 660 Squadron in Hong Kong, 1981. We've got the Special Air Service, or obviously we've got the SAS one, Sticky Beaks down in there as well from 1977. We've got the Raspberry Ripple one, obviously a middle wallop, which is very, very nice indeed, from 1984. And then last up, we've actually got the Army Rotary Wing Training Flight down in Middle Wallet in 1973 in July as well. Nice little bit of day glow on there. And again, you've got the little litters on the side and stuff like that. So all in all, very, very nice indeed. We'll start straight into the clear parts. And we can have a look at the decals as well. So if we start with the decals, again, not many decals, which is quite nice. Just a few, as you can see down on here. All right, if we move the camera even closer, there we go. You can see, very nicely done. I don't know if they're on one giant sheet or if they're just sat on there. You might have to cut these off. I think they're actually on one big sheet, although I can't see. They're that finely, and actually, to be honest, they're all in register. Really very, very nicely done. So very nice with those indeed. Keep those safe. And then down in here we've got the clear parts, and they are beautiful. Really very, very nice. You can see how nice they are. Very little distortion, as you can see. Obviously these are bulged ones down on here, so you're going to get a bit of distortion down in here. But as you can see, if I pop my finger in with the fingernail test, you can see looking very nice and clear indeed. No problem at all. So the clear parts are absolutely gorgeous, beautifully done. And obviously, let's face it, helicopters are all about the clear parts. All right. So again, nice with those. Then we can cut back over. And we've got another zip bag. Get these out, a little bit of a tight fit. And a bit gentle with it. There we go. So, tell you what, we'll start down here on the tails. So, again, difference with the tails, as you can see, there's a slight difference. If I remember rightly, the Scout's got the big one, thick tail, and obviously the Wasp's got the little stinger, as I call it. That's how I used to tell the difference in the tails. So there we go, very, very nice. And obviously the Wasp being on wheels, and obviously the Scout is on skids. Again, the rotors, a little bit chunky, and they're not massive either. They're not very big. It is a very compact little helicopter, but generally very, very nice. So again, real nice mixture of raised and recessed details down on here. As you can see, we've got these raised access panels, this raised ribbing as it has, but we've got recessed up here as well. So again, that's very nice indeed, and even nice and clean on the inside. So very nice little kit, as you can see. Okay, so over on the body, which blinking you're going to miss it, here's the body. All right. Generally, there's a tiniest little bit of flash around on this kit, just a little bit of cleanup required, a little bit of burring if we're honest, but really, I think it's one of those ones where just literally a simple swipe with the sanding stick will take care of it. But some of the beautiful little details down in here is the floor. You got that detail on the floor? That's absolutely gorgeous. Really very, very nice indeed. And again, the actual engine deck at the back with this plating and ribbing looks very, very nice indeed. The rear bulkhead. So again, we do have Wasp wheels in here, but not for this one. All right. The instrument panel itself. So as you can see, not a great deal to it. But again, at this scale, I think it's absolutely fine. These are the ground handling wheels. All right, you've got your engine, you've got the skids. And again, just needs a little bit of swiping, just a little bit of crisping up. It's a little bit of burring from the sandwich mark when this thing is all squashed together. So again, very, very nice indeed. 4 sprues actually. All right, so again, some of these are going to be used, some of these aren't. I don't think these are used as well. This is the Navy stuff, but that center console, as you can see down in here, it's got beautifully raised details. Very nice indeed. And all the bits down on here, these are the litters with the little coverings over the top for use for medivac work, tail rotor, things like that. So again, nice. And then over here, looks like we've got the launchers for those sort of tow things. I don't know actually. You do get them. You get the launchers for the tow missiles. You just don't get the tow missiles. They're separate. So again, very, very nice indeed. All these parts down in here. Again, some of these used, some of these aren't. Take your pick. Beautiful. Very, very nicely done. I have to say, I love it. This is one of those helicopters where it's really overlooked. I always say about the Wasp and the Gazelle, and obviously the Scout being in the same family, is that very light utility type helicopters and all the rest of it played a very, very important role back in the 70s and obviously into the 80s. And again, completely overlooked. You know, the Gazelle, we don't really see any of those, and that one a little bit long-lived, than the actual Scout outlived the Scout, and don't see any of those afterwards. And I always thought that those helicopters especially because obviously with the joint usage around the world, civilian application as well, you would see more of them, but we don't see them. So again, I'm championing now, we need a gazelle to go along with this one as well. Really, really nice to see it in 72nd. There's something about a 72nd scale wasp as well that takes you right the way back in Scout to the old days as well, from my modelling days. And I remember building the Airfix one and making complete hash of it because it's got lots of glass and it's very delicate with the wasp, with the gear and all the rest of it. And I remember doing the Scout, and Scout turned out a little bit better, probably because it didn't have gangly gear that got snapped off and things like that. So it's really nice to see these kits come out, get a new breath of fresh air. And again, I'm led to believe we might see other versions of this coming down the line as well, which will be very, very nice as well. So again, this one is the Scout. You can get the Wasp as well. They're both out at the same time together. And again, hopefully we'll see more and more of these. And then one day, you never know, we might actually see a 48 scale one and a 32nd scale one.